working so fucking hard! Like, where's my break, man? I'm working so fucking hard! Like, where's my break, man?
Oh my goodness, come on, two! Oh, yes! Wides on one of them, wides!
This is all the way.
Come on! Oh, man, that's gonna pay! Bang! We'll take that! Oh!
This is good.
That's gonna fucking pay! What is that? Bang!
Well, no. I have resisted playing along with crazy Cody Burnett for months because I cannot relate to his style of play, his tantrums, his ridiculously enormous bets. I have people telling me that my bets are outlandish and way too much and all the rest of it. And compared to somebody like him or Dana White or Steve Leonardis, Steve Will Do It, any of those people, and certainly this nutcase, I'm just throwing peanuts to the elephants. I mean, it's crazy. And a big part of my problem with playing along with all of these professionals is that basically they just keep bending over. They will take any crap that comes down the pike at them. They won't do anything to protect themselves. They won't. There's just no self-defense factor in their plan, largely because they don't have a plan. So you look at Cody here, Mr. Exposed, and this was all perfectly normal here. And then he just went into this, and he just went bonkers. I mean, he starts out bonkers, let's face it, but it could well just be an act. It might be that, he's putting on a show in the same way that Steve Will Do It did. I mean, I can't imagine that anybody could survive in life being off screen or off camera the way that either Cody is or Steve is, because it just doesn't, it doesn't compute, as they used to say. But anyway, I could be entirely wrong about that. What I did here, this is where the red line is. I said, okay, so I've been left, or Algae, the pattern betting algorithm, has been left high and dry here by this terrible state of affairs, this run here. So I'm going to just add in his next session. And I'm going to continue to do that because my argument has always been you should not walk away a loser, or at least if you do walk away a loser, you should immediately go, or in time at least, go to another location, play a different game, make sure you take your down and out, your down being the hole you're in, and the out being the full value of the next bet that's dictated or indicated required by the pattern betting strategy. None of these guys do that. They all walk away losers. One thing that Cody did in the session that I reluctantly tapped into was that he had a dealer 22, which I think Vegas Matt had the record by far at 30,000 saved because the dealer didn't push the 22, so he got his money, 30 grand. I think this time for it was. It was 284,000 that would have pushed if it had been a dealer pushes on 22. So anyway, I'll put that into the edit. Whether it's before or after this, I don't know. I haven't got to that stage yet. But it to some people it will seem sort of rude or unkind or unfair or whatever to call this guy Crazy Cody. But I've been saying that about him for as long as I've been just briefly watching him before sort of thinking, ugh, can't do that. No, thank you. But anyway, I cracked in the end because it looks like I'm cherry picking, which is something I sometimes accuse these other people with gambling channels on YouTube of doing. So I thought, okay, well, I'd better bite the bullet and see what happens. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this up as it stands with pattern betting losing nearly $8,000 and Cody down. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I've got to do this thing here. He is down $636,000. How fucking ridiculous is that? And then to that, you've got to add his extra bets because he loves to do these extra bets, and that's another 85,000 up shit creek. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, dear. No, that's not right. I'm just leaving that alone because it causes all kinds of complications. But anyway, the red line was the end of the first session, this one here, and then this lot was the next session, which was just pretty much as awful. I mean, you look at this, and he lost another, let's see, 660,000. So he lost another 15,000, which is pretty modest by his standards. And we'll just play on until, per my theory, he hits a positive run, which will get me out of trouble. It certainly won't get him out of trouble because he doesn't, like the other guys with these gambling channels on YouTube, they don't look at where they're at in terms of loss to date. They start each time as if they're starting afresh. And you can't win like that. You just can't. Unless, of course, you're Dana White and you can go into a casino 23 nights in a row and win more than $1 million a night for 23 nights in a row, I mean, it's a mystery to me why the casino that he beat didn't use that for publicity purposes to reel in other sort of big whales, big white whales, but they didn't. And that's because it didn't happen. But anyway, that's my opinion. I don't know that for sure, but I'm willing to bet on it. Not that I have his resources. And if he were to say to me, okay, I'll bet you 10 million that I can produce W2Gs that prove that I won $1 million a night for 23 nights in a row, obviously I couldn't take that bet. So there we are. That's life. Let's just look at one thing here. Flat AV for this session, minus 44%. So that's a 44% house advantage. I couldn't make a better average win than average loss, but this is temporary, and you can see the difference. 592 average win, 688 average loss, so I'm at 86%. Not a pretty picture, but I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can. I'm definitely being as accurate as I possibly can. So it seemed to me that it was my duty to put up what I consider to be an unfinished contest. As far as Cody Burnett is concerned, it's just another tantrum or series of tantrums, just another excess of bad behavior and silly bets. And I would be amazed if he actually is losing or winning money on these things. It just seems ridiculous, but maybe he is. I don't know. I mean, it's just that this is kind of outside my zone of knowledge. I've never encountered anybody like any of these players because they all seem to be determined to hang themselves, climb on that chair that the casinos give them and stick their neck into that noose that the casinos give them and just jump. So that's how it is as far as I'm concerned.